Welcome to e-learning standard 8 subject science lesson number 5 inside the atom. Dear students, first of all let us understand what is called as matter. Matter is everything that surrounds us. It has mass and takes up space by having volume. All matter is made up of atoms. An atom is the smallest particle of an element which retains its chemical identity in all the physical and chemical changes. Atoms come together to form molecules, which are binding blocks of substances. Molecules are formed by chemical combination of atoms. Molecules of few substances contain only one atom, while some molecules are formed by two or more different types of atoms. Substances are of three types: mixtures, elements, and compounds. In elements, the molecules are formed by a single type of atom, while in compound, two different types of atoms are joined together or they are chemically combined together to form a compound. Let us do one activity to study some examples. Students, here you can see that in front of you a table is formed where you can see few columns are there: name of substance, chemical formula of the substance. Then we have to identify whether it is an atom or a molecule. Whichever atoms are present in that molecule, they are of single type or they are of different type. And lastly, we have to identify which type of matter or which type of substance is that. Is it an element or a compound? That we have to identify. So let us begin. Here you can see first name of the substance is hydrogen. The formula of hydrogen is H2. So we have to identify whether it is an atom or a molecule. As you can see, H2 means it is combined, so it is a molecule. Single type of atom, you can see only hydrogen is there, so single type of atoms are present in this molecule and therefore it is an element. Second is ammonia. Molecular formula is NH3. So obviously it is a molecule, and here different types of atoms are present in this molecule and therefore it is a compound. Third is nitrogen, which is again a molecule, and here you can see single types of atoms are present in the molecule and therefore it is an element. Methane, CH4, is a again molecule, and as you can see here different types of atoms are present in that molecule and therefore it is also a compound. Next is argon, Ar, which is an atom. You can see on the single atom is there and therefore again we have to put a tick mark in this particular box also, and therefore it is a which type of matter? It is an element because elements are present in pure form. Neon, again it is an atom, single type of atom in a molecule, and again it is an element. Lastly, chlorine, Cl2. Yes, very good students, it is a molecule. Single type of atoms are present in the molecule and therefore it is an element. So from this we understand that the smallest particle of an element taking part in the chemical combination is an atom. Dear students, the concept of atom is more than 2500 years old. Indian philosopher Maharishi Kanad 6th century before Christ, stated that there is a limit to divide matter into small particles. He named these invisible and indivisible particles as Parmanu. He also stated that this Parmanu is indestructible. Greek philosopher Democritus in 5th century before Christ stated that matter is made up of small particles and these cannot be divided. The smallest particle of matter was named by Democritus as atom. In Greek language, atomos means the one which cannot be cut. British scientist John Dalton put forth his atomic theory in 1803 Anno Domini. According to his theory, matter is made up of atoms and atoms are indivisible and indestructible. All atoms of an element are alike while different elements have different atoms with different mass. The atom, as described by Dalton, turns out to be a hard and solid sphere with no internal structure. According to Dalton's atomic theory, the mass is distributed uniformly in an atom. In 1904, scientist J.J. Thomson put forth a plum pudding model of atom. According to this model, positive charge is distributed throughout the atom and negatively charged electrons are embedded in it. The distributed positive charge is balanced by the negative charge on the electrons and therefore atom becomes neutral. Later on in 1911, New Zealand scientist Ernst Rutherford put forth a new nuclear model of atom. Rutherford took a very thin gold foil and bombarded it with positively charged alpha particles emitted by radioactive element. Now why he chose alpha particles? Because alpha particles are highly active with great ionization power. He also wanted a very thinner layer of metal and gold is most malleable metal, therefore he used gold film over there. He observed the path of alpha particles by means of a fluorescent screen around the gold foil. This detecting screen which you can see in this picture is the fluorescent screen which he had used. Here you can see a slit is there from which these alpha particles passed. Now it was expected that alpha particles would get reflected from the gold foil if positively charged mass were evenly distributed inside the atom according to Thomson's atomic theory. But unexpectedly, most of the alpha particles went straight to the foil. A small number of alpha particles get deflected from the original path through small angle, while some alpha particles get deflected through larger angles. And surprisingly, one alpha particle bounced back in the direction opposite to the original path. Large number of alpha particles that went straight to the foil indicates that there was no obstacle in their path. It meant that there must be mainly an empty space between the atoms in the solid gold foil. A small number of alpha particles that get deflected through small or big angle must have faced an obstacle in their path. It means that the positively charged and heavy part causing obstruction would be there, the center of the atom. From this, Rutherford put forth a nuclear model for an atom as like this. Here in the center it must be a nucleus which is positively charged, and empty spaces will be there around it, and these are the negatively charged electrons. This type of model was introduced by scientist Rutherford. Now, after studying scattering experiment by Rutherford, let us see postulates of Rutherford's atomic model. First one, there is positively charged nucleus at the center of an atom. Almost the entire mass of an atom is concentrated in the nucleus. Negatively charged particles called electrons revolve around the nucleus. The total negative charge on the electron is equal to the positive charge on the nucleus. And lastly, there is an empty space between the revolving electrons and the atomic nucleus. According to an established law of physics, Rutherford's model turned out to be unstable. In reality, however, all atom except radioactive atom are unstable. This shortcoming of Rutherford's atomic model was removed by atomic model put forth by Niels Bohr in 1930. He explained the stability of atom by putting forth stable orbit atomic model. This was the atomic model which was suggested by Niels Bohr. In the center it is the nucleus which is positively charged, and here he explained that electrons are revolving in the orbits around this nucleus. He named these orbits as shell. Names were given as K shell, L shell, M shell and N shell. Now let us see the important postulates of Niels Bohr's atomic model. The electrons revolving around the atomic nucleus lie in concentric circular orbits at certain distance from the nucleus. Energy of an electron is constant while it is in particular orbit. When as electron jumps from an inner orbit to an outer orbit, it absorbs energy equal to the distance of its energy level. And when it jumps from an outer orbit to an inner orbit, it emits energy equal to the difference of its energy level. Some more atomic models were put forth after Bohr's atomic model. Atomic structure was studied at depth with the advent of new branch of science called as quantum mechanics. Do you know, students, when table salt, that is sodium chloride, is thrown on LPG gas stove flame, immediately yellow spark forms on that place. If sodium metal put in water, it burns to give yellow colored flame. Also, sodium vapor lamps which are present on street gives yellow color light. In all these examples, the electron of sodium absorbs energy and goes to outermost shell and comes back to inner shell by emitting energy. The difference in energy level of these two shells of sodium is fixed. This difference is similar to the energy of yellow light, and therefore specific yellow light is emitted as the result of movement of sodium electron.